Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of Java. In this session, we are going to see what are methods, or it's also called as functions in Java, and how they are useful in automation. Since our course of track is related to Selenium automation, you have to know what are methods in order to design your frameworks and design patterns of your Selenium automation. So what are these methods basically? We'll see just a few notes and then we'll jump to an example. So a method is a block of code which runs when it is called. So whenever we call it, then only it will run. So how we will call it? We using some parameters. We will pass data that are called parameters. Okay, so method is a block of code. It performs some action. Example, maybe summation of two numbers or subtraction of between two numbers and division, or you want to make some other actions. Those are all the uh, actions that can be performed by methods. So based on our requirement, we will be writing our code. Okay, so the structure of method you need to know before you write your methods. So we'll jump to that structure in a while. So basically there are two types of methods. One is predefined methods and other one is user defined methods. So in Java, it has a lot of facility which provides some APIs, or it provides some basic functions from math functions or string functions, parsing functions. There are a lot of functions available. So apart from that, we can write our own methods as well for our flexibility. Okay. So before knowing the method structure, you have to definitely know public static void main structure. So that is also called a main method. We always call a main method, right? So what is the structure of it? If you observe here, the first one, the public, is a modifier. Okay. So access modifier, that means you can define it as a public or private or protected or something. And the next one is void, which is a return type. It can be a void, it can be an integer, it can be a float, it can be a string. So the structure, the second keyword of a method is return type. And the third keyword of an, or fourth you can say, because the static is up to you. You have already seen a session on static, why it is used, but the static is not mandatory. But if you want to access it throughout the program or change something, then you need to use static. Okay, then the main here, if you see, this is a method name. So method name and then followed by some parameters. You can either have parameters or without parameters. Okay, we will see that in detail now. Okay, now this is a predefined method. Okay, that is already available and we are using it. And one more example is system.out.println. That's also a method which is embedded in a parenthesis. That's a method, simple. Next, so this, the one which you see at the bottom, is a user defined method. You can see here I define private as a modifier and int is my return type. Sorry for that, this arrow should be here. So int is a let me change it, and this is the method name and these are the arguments. Sorry for that. So now this is a return type. Integer is my return type and method name is sum, and my parameters are two parameters here. I can define as many parameters as I need. So I want to make a summation of two numbers, so I am giving two parameters. And then within this parenthesis, within these brackets, you are providing your um, code, the actions of your method, what you need to perform. So here I want to perform an addition of two numbers, then I'm writing a code related to that. So I am creating one more variable, integer variable, and giving a plus b. That means I am summing up two numbers. Okay, and return summation. So for user defined methods which has a return type other than void, this statement is compulsory. You need to give a return statement. So whenever the excuse me, whenever user calls this method, it will get this value. The summation value is returned. So we are returning this, we are executing something and we are returning this value from where it is called. We will see that in example. Okay, so let's quickly jump to Eclipse. So let me create a new package. I'll call it as methods demo. Okay, let me create a class, method example 1 or method examples. Okay, so we have created a class. Let me create a method here now. So so generally if you want to do some addition, for example, int a is equal to b, int b is equal to 1, and int b is equal to 2, and I'll call it as int c is equal to a plus b, right? And I'll print the value. Okay, sum of a and b is, okay, so this is how we write our code, right? Now how to create our own methods. Okay, I'll show you here. So user defined method. Okay, public static int. So I'll create as integer or add. So I want to pass these two arguments. Okay, I don't want to always do, I don't want to create a variable always. Okay, so for example, I want to do some more operation like int x is equal to 2, again int y is equal to 4. So again I have to create one more variable to do summation, right? So I'll call it as int d is equal to x plus y. Okay, this is a tedious process, right? I don't want to always uh, create a variables for my summation, and I don't want to waste the space of creating the variables. Okay, so for that reason what we will do is we will eliminate these things. Okay, let me comment this. We will comment these things, and I'll create one variable int c is equal to, okay, add of a comma b, and you have to provide the semicolon at the end because we are calling this. Okay, and now here we are creating an method, user defined method. So you want to perform a summation of add a comma b, but you have to provide the arguments here. You are passing two arguments and you have to create you are passing two parameters. Then here you have to provide those two arguments, int a comma int b. Okay. Mm, what it says, remove invalid identifiers. Okay, let's write our code int s. Okay, int s is equal to a plus b, or I can say int sum is equal to a plus b. Sum is equal to a plus b. Okay, and we have to write a return statement as discussed. Okay, return sum. Okay, so then change method return type to int. Okay, okay, we have to define this in outside of the main. Okay, now you can see the error is gone. Okay, always we have to define outside of this main method. Okay, and now so this add a comma b, so it's passing two parameters, and this a value, what is the a value? 1. What is the b value? 2. So these two values will be coming here, and then it will execute these statements, these three statements. Sum is equal to a plus b, and you can give anything here, not only a plus b, you can give y, x and y. Okay, so here also you have to give same x and y. So let me run this program. See, sum of a and b is 3. Now this is a method with parameters. Okay, so I'll call it as method with parameters. Okay, now I'll create a method without parameters. Okay, public static integer, or I'll say public static void. Okay, so inside this, okay, we have to give method name also, void display. Okay, so inside this I will write addition successful, something, some sample message to define, to show you how to write, how to use methods without parameters. So method without parameters. See why we call this without uh, parameters. See, we don't have any arguments here, we didn't define anything. Now I can call that method simply without any, without storing into any variable. I can simply take this display and call this method. Okay, now let me run this. See, addition successful. See, the method which is without arguments is called first. Okay, and then this method is called, if you have observed carefully. Okay, that's how this method priorities are. Okay, so this is all about methods. This is very simple example. I'm not going so deep so that you'll get confused as a beginners. So these methods, if you have some basic idea, that's enough for your Selenium automation. Okay, so just practice with few examples, and also there is static methods which is already discussed earlier. I'll paste that video link in the description box. If you have any doubts or if you have any suggestions, just put it in a comment box. Okay, so that's all for now, and thanks for watching. Please subscribe and have a nice day.